Hello, my dear friend. I hope your week is going well so far. This is just a quick one, a further reflection into John's Gospel, chapter 11. And our last weekend's reflection was based on John's Gospel, chapter 11, which I encouraged you to read the whole chapter from verse 1 to verse 45. And our reflection centered on verse 1 to verse 4. But reading further, I also, and reflecting further, I'm beginning to see get more insight into this text. So as I reflect further on this gospel, on this chapter, it dawned on me that it's not just the story of Lazarus. It is the story of Jesus stepping directly into human grief, and transforming it from inside out. Yeah, as human beings, from time to time, we go through rough patches. And sometimes we lose loved ones and we grieve. So this is Jesus stepping directly into human grief and transforming it from inside out. And it's also a revelation of a Savior who is both fully God and fully human. It's a revelation of one who holds resurrection power in one hand and human tears in the other. So this is a very deep text, and that's why as I reflect further into it, a number of things came up, and I just like, okay, let me still go ahead and share it with you. One of the things we struggle with in life, especially men, is the expression of emotions. Yeah, the expression of emotion. So we struggle with it a lot. But what do you find in verse 35? In verse 35 of this text of John's Gospel, chapter 11, we're told that at the end, in the course of everything that happened, that Jesus wept. Jesus wept. So what does that say to us? What does that say to you? If Jesus Christ, the Lord and Master, the Savior of the world, wept, what does that say to you? A few things that it's saying to me. The first one is that Jesus cares enough for us to weep in our sorrow. Jesus cares enough for us to weep in our sorrow. The other one is that it is a huge contrast. It made a huge contrast with the concept of God as emotionless and aloof with humans. So this is a God who is in touch with humans. And then lastly, here we see many of Jesus's emotions. We see him being compassionate. We see him expressing the emotion of indignation. We see him expressing sorrow. We see him even expressing frustration. Yeah. So we see Jesus expressing these emotions. So, in other words, Jesus is modeling for us that it is okay to be in touch with our emotions and to express our emotions. Just like I've mentioned, one of the things we struggle with, men, is expressing emotions. And from a psychological lens, when you push away your emotions, when you try to resist your emotions, one thing that happens is that you numb yourself. And as much as you try to push them down, they persist. And the trouble or the problem with that is sometimes they burst at the time you least expected it, at the time when they are out of your control. And that is why psychologists, therapists, counselors will encourage us to say, let us go process these emotions in a safe space. Let us go process this emotion at the time when we have control over them. So my dear friend, learn to be in touch with your emotions. You can express your emotions either with your spouse or with your partner or with your friend. You can express your emotion with a trusted friend. You can express your emotion with your counselor, with your therapist, with your priest or pastor, with your spiritual director. But remember, in a safe space, in a space where confidentiality is promised, and in a space where whatever is shared is respected. Okay? Yeah, so until I come your way again, remain blessed.